My cousin passed away from suicide in November of 2015.
Right.
And I felt that I needed to do something.
Yeah.
That was kind of the way that I was handling my grief, was I needed to go out in the community. And I actually had one of my coworkers at the time sent me an email for a support group, because I had no idea that it was here.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to the Juniata Valley Healing Connections meeting, their actual task force meeting.
Right.
And got involved into the walk, literally the last meeting before the walk.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been involved ever since. That was the Out of the Darkness walk.
Okay.
And it was held at Juniata College.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the first year that Huntingdon has ever had the walk. And
Right.
we are not just Huntingdon, we're Huntingdon, Mifflin, and Juniata.
Juniata Counties.
But the first
counties.
walk was held in Huntingdon.
In Huntingdon, Juniata College. How was that received? Did you have a lot of people? Because that means there's a lot of connections to people who have committed suicide.
Right. Yeah, we actually exceeded the amount that we thought we would have. We had like over 230 people. We raised more money than we expected to. Like, we like doubled the amount. It was amazing.
There's a connection between the Healing Connections and the task force, or how's that work?
No, the Healing Connections is the task force. Would be your local suicide prevention task force.
Right.
And we serve Huntingdon, Mifflin, and Juniata County.
And now, is it a nonprofit organization based on volunteers? How's that work?
It's it is based on volunteers. It's mental health professionals, we have community members, we have survivors of suicide loss, but we are a Central PA chapter affiliate with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
So there's a national group, then you're affiliated with them. Wow.
Yes.
That is so cool. One of the main things that you do is the Out of the Darkness March, which we'll talk about that. But from what you've seen, since you've been involved with the group, what does the Healing Connection Task Force do? How do they raise the awareness? And obviously, prevention has to be a very inclusive part as well.
Right. One of the things that we do is we actually have a Facebook, which has helped a lot because it gets out to other people in the community, and you know, social media is a great way to promote things. We go into the schools if need be, provide resources that way. The walk is a way to promote things.
Right.
We have a support group. We actually have people on the task force that are mental health professionals or in that field, and they will go into the schools and provide programming for the kiddos. Okay.
And as a part of all of this, as we talk to Kahlena Harris, and we talk about suicide prevention and the groups that she's involved with, the Juniata Valley Suicide Task Force, basically, when you go into these schools, in light of all the bullying that's going on social media, do you have a strategy, your group, to curb that social media outside the schools? Because a lot of this is occurring.
Yeah, outside the schools.
So is that a component of what you guys do?
Basically, what we have been trying to do, especially with the bullying aspect of things, is provide information and resources to the schools, and then, you know, come in and do programming if needed, or, you know, giving the information to the schools, and the schools can take it from there.
So you give them the materials and the resources in which then they can feed it to the children
and their parents.
The school. Let's talk about one of the subjects that is close to this whole situation recently, a motion picture, which is I believe it was on Netflix, and, you know, I don't know if you're aware of it. There was some controversy, regardless that was a good, bad, something indifferent.
Yes.
I don't know if the task force would actually even endorse that, but I mean, what are you hearing personally, maybe among members, maybe among the volunteers, about the extent of that movie and the impact it's having, and whether or not it's favorable?
I have gotten different opinions throughout the community.
Okay.
I watched the movie.
You watched it?
Yes,
okay.
I watched.
I never saw it.
Yes, I watched it.
Is it 13?
It's 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
I actually read the book as a teenager.
Yeah.
And I really liked the book, believe it or not, because I could relate to it. But then to watch what Netflix decided to put together, it's very intense.
Yeah. Would you suggest that children of a certain age watch it, or they have to watch it with their parents?
I would suggest that if your kids are going to watch it, that you should watch it first and then watch it with your children and have a conversation.
Okay, let me ask you this. The controversy was that maybe perhaps we're promoting suicide. Your true feelings of that?
My feelings of... I agree to an extent, and I disagree. The way that they decided to show this girl's passing was very graphic.
Okay.
Extremely graphic. It was actually opposite of the book.
Was it overkill?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was, I mean, I think in one aspect, you saw the truth. It was the truth. Yeah. It's not a pretty thing when people die by suicide at all. And that's what they showed. But at the same time, it could have triggered people as well.
So the message is there. And it probably is something that parents should be watching with their children and discussing. Obviously, you got to have that conversation. Yeah. So again, the movie is called
13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why.
Yes.
Suicide is a very, very prevalent issue in our society today.
Yes.
Probably more so today than it ever has been before because of the bullying situation. But here in Huntingdon County, because you're in Huntingdon County, as opposed to Mifflin County or Juniata County, I'm sure Blair County has had cases as well.
Mm-hmm.
But being in Huntingdon County, the mission is to get the word out that if somebody needs this help, where do they turn?
There are a lot of resources for people in Huntingdon County.
Okay.
And not even just Huntingdon County, Huntingdon, Mifflin, and Juniata County.
Right.
One of those resources would be the Juniata Valley Crisis Line,
okay,
which is 1-800-929-9583.
Okay, we'll repeat that number again.
1-800-929-9583.
Okay.
Another option, we know that a lot of teenagers like to text.
Yeah.
So another option is you can text TALK to 741-741, and you will get somebody on the crisis text line.
So somebody will be texting them back, so it's really interactive.
Yes.
Wow, communication.
Which is great for, the teenagers that don't want to be on the phone.
Yeah.
And then another option is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255.
Talking with Kahlena Harris about suicide prevention. Support groups are very important.
Yes.
There are a lot of events coming up throughout the year, but the support groups, and what I looked at reading some of your information here, is suicide, the survivors of suicide. Tell us a little bit about that group.
Survivors of Suicide is a support group designed to offer support, comfort, and understanding to family, friends, and individuals affected by suicide.
Right.
Originally, it was kind of a support group for survivors of suicide loss, but we've noticed that attempt survivors need that help kind of, as well.
Exactly.
So
and they need the support. Yeah.
Yes. So right now we have it mixed together.
Okay.
And it seems to be working very well because it shows the attempt survivors what they're going to leave behind, and it shows the suicide loss survivors where their loved ones' minds possibly were.
Yeah. Okay.
So it really has helped in that way.
And suicide seriously has an impact on a lot of people, not just the immediate family members, but friends. And again, you've gone through it. I've gone through it. We know people who have made that choice. I think the first thing we ask is why, and then there's a guilt thing, like we didn't notice. There are obviously some signs that professionals can tell us about. And in this particular survivors of suicide, the support group, they meet how often and where here in Huntingdon? We
meet the third Wednesday of the month at the J.C. Blair Education Center.
Okay.
For right now, it's the third Wednesday of the month.
And it's at what time?
It's from 6 to 7:30.
It's open?
Yes.
Okay.
It's open. You come 6, 7:30, and we have our support group.
Right.
And that will stay like that until the needs of the survivors change.
Let me ask you this. So you're at a meeting and you meet people, and of course, we don't judge. But do we get into a dialogue and people want to tell people how that whole thing materialized? I had a great kid. He was doing well in school, but something happened and triggered. Do people share to one another?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like at the support group, because they know that the people around them have gone through the same thing and they're in a safe place, people really do open up, and and it gives you a place to open up because people want to talk, and because society has such a bad stigma on suicide, people don't talk.
Yeah, and that goes back to the judgmental thing I told you about. Regardless of that. So here you have this fine support group, and they meet on a regular basis, and they're meeting on the third Wednesday of the month at this point.
Yes.
And, of course, there's all kinds of awareness programs out here. You're utilizing the local media to get the word out. And, obviously, this has become your mission because of the, tie-in with family members. So as you move forward personally, has that helped you develop a lot of strength? And of course, now people are coming to you and you can offer up a lot of information?
Yeah, I would definitely say yes.
Okay.
Getting involved with the Juniata Valley Healing Connections was probably the best thing I ever did.
Really?
I had a really hard time when my cousin passed, and this gave me a purpose.
Good.
So, yeah, I would say that definitely helped give me strength to complete this mission that I feel is really important.
Let's talk about some of these events that are coming up. Kahlena, you're involved in. One of the ones that sticks out to me is the World Suicide Candlelight. Yeah, that is going on. Prevention Day, Candlelight Vigil. Talk a little bit about what's going to happen, when, where, and how people can get involved in that. What is it?
Okay, so September 10th through the 16th is National Suicide Prevention Week.
Okay.
The 10th of September is World Suicide Prevention Day, and I really felt that we should kick off the week with a candlelight vigil.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that has never been done.
Right.
So I thought, this is there's a lot of survivors here, and this is a good way for everyone to be able to come together and remember their loved ones, but also feel supported.
Yeah.
So we're going to have our candlelight visual on September 10th from 7:15 to 8:15 at the Huntingdon Courthouse steps.
Okay, right there on Penn Street.
Yep, right there on Penn Street. There will be kind of information bags that we're going to send home with everybody so that they have information. There will be a display board for people to write messages of hope and healing.
Yeah.
And it's going to, we're going to light our candles. We'll have a poem read, but it's also going to be an open forum. So if people feel that they need to come and talk and share their story, they have every opportunity to do so.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, is this modeled after something that you might have seen before, or is this something that normally they would do during World Suicide Prevention Day?
A lot of people do candlelight vigils for World Suicide Prevention Day.
Yeah.
But I actually thought, I found it online, but also from a job that I used to have, they also had a candlelight visual, and I felt that it's important, and it's new, and it's different, and I wanted to try it out and see how it goes.
I think that's going to go over well. Again, the date of that is September 10th.
Yep.
And the time?
7:15 to 8:15.
And that's happening at?
The courthouse steps in Huntingdon County.
Huntingdon County, right on Penn Street in Huntingdon. That's the World Suicide Prevention Day Candlelight Vigil. Hey, listen, because you know what? I know in Johnstown we used to have the luminaries, and we would release the balloons. And that was kind of significant for those survivors of suicide and a way to talk about it and discuss it. And like you said about the poems, people coming up and reading poems, maybe to the people that they lost. So that is one of many events that you have coming up. Tell us about what else you have. Now, that's in September.
Yes, that is in September. We also have our Out of the Darkness walk in October.
Now, this is a biggie here.
This is a biggie because
this is a big one.
We are having, it's basically 2 walks simultaneously, same time,
different counties,
2 different locations.
Cool. So now tell us a little bit about that. Walk to Fight Suicide. Tell us what the Out of Darkness Community Walk will be in Huntingdon.
So the Out of Darkness Community Walk will be held in Huntingdon at Juniata College. And the one in Lewistown will be held at Kish Park.
Right, okay.
They will both be, registration starts at 1 and the walk starts at 2 at both places.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I can be at that because that's 2 o'clock. I don't have to walk in the dark.
Yeah.
I know, seriously. And I can do that now.
Yes.
So now how do we do this? Do we put together a team? Because maybe the drop-in center will put together a team and raise some money, or what do you want us to do?
Yes, you can you can put together a team. You can walk individually. You can volunteer. You can virtually walk if you can't physically be there, which I think is really cool. So yeah.
How do you virtually walk? Tell us that.
You would, when you go in to register, you would, they'll let you know like what you want to do, and you just click virtual. Okay. So what you could do is you could raise money, and then go for a walk.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And
or not, and just send the money, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And there you go. And
now
that
listen.
counts.
So tell us about that specific day. We show up at Juniata College.
Yes.
For Out of the Darkness Community Walk on Sunday, October the 1st.
Yes.
We register at 1. When I register, do I give them a check? Or do I give them money, or is that something that I'll find out when I go online and get information?
When you can actually register prior to the event. So you can either register when you get there, you can register prior to.
Online?
Yeah, online.
Cool.
You would go to www.afsp.org/walk.
Right.
And you will either put in Juniata Valley, Huntingdon, or Juniata Valley, Lewistown.
Lewistown, okay.
Yes. And all the money is going to go to the same place.
Okay,
We're all part of the same thing.
So basically the money goes back to the Juniata Valley with Mifflin County, Huntingdon County,
it will go back
and
to the Central PA chapter.
Okay. Now, what would that money be used for? Think about it. Would this be awareness programs, maybe, or
the money
to get speakers out to these schools? Obviously, you need reference material.
Yes, the money that is that we raise is used for the walks. It's used for the International Survivor of Suicide Loss Day.
Okay.
It's used for the research that people are coming up with for suicide prevention. It's used for everything to keep fighting against suicide.
Right.
It occurs the Saturday before Thanksgiving every year.
Every year. Yeah.
So different places throughout the world will have these events for a few hours where survivors come together. They watch a screening of a movie that AFSP has put together for you.
Right.
And then they have, you can do art therapy, you can have whatever you need to do in that 4 hours of time. So it's basically a day for people to come together and have hope and healing and comfort with people that completely understand what they're going through.
And you're making this available on Saturday, November 18th, and the time and location.
Yes, so it's going to be on Saturday, November 18th, 2017 at J.C. Blair Education Center.
Okay.
It will be from 1 to 5. And you can contact me through email at krharris06@gmail.com.
Hit it again.
krharris06@gmail.com. Or you can call me at 814-251-5028. And I can help you register if need be. Or you can find us on Facebook under the Juniata Valley Healing Connections, and all those events are listed.
And all this will be sent out to the schools, and all this is sent out maybe to the churches, and so you're pretty much trying to get the word out any way you can.
Yeah.
Including the Air Network and 94.1 FM.
Yes.
Your great cousin Greg, because he is cool, isn't he?
He's awesome.
Thank you. You're starting to look like your mother.
Oh my gosh.
Tell you that. That won't go in the air.
Thank you.
Now, so your daughters, Amaya and Lily, they're growing up. Mm-hmm. They're getting big. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they're going to be teenagers someday. How do you stem that tide? Because Amaya's really a strong... Well, both of them are very strong.
Yes.
But the reality is they're going to be faced with a lot of the stuff that you were faced as a teenager.
Yes.
How do we circumvent what's to come? Because are they involved in your group, kind of like working with mom or what?
Yes and no. Like when I did International Survivor of Suicide Loss Day last year, they helped me get some of the materials together and create some of the crafts. They also were affected by the loss of our cousin.
Obviously.
And my youngest has been affected really bad.
Okay.
So therefore she enjoys being involved in things where she feels like she's holding her cousin's memory. So she's pretty excited for the candlelight visual.
And they get it, don't they?
Yeah.
They really do get it. So
and it's sad.
Well, it's sad, but the reality is, they have far and above experiences that no other kid has because now they're working towards helping to prevent suicide.
Right.
That's got to be, that's got to be gratifying for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you. So, no, the last thing I would just want to go over is that you can actually come and join the Juniata Valley Healing Connections for our monthly meetings.
Right.
They are the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay.
From 3 to 4. You may attend at the J.C. Blair Education Center in Huntingdon or at the Juniata Valley Behavioral and Developmental Services in Lewistown. If you can't come to a location, you can also call in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we have a number. It's 1-888-744-8762, and then the access number is 2788-100. Follow us at Facebook at Juniata Valley Healing Connections.
This is a serious business, suicide prevention. It's near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
If anybody needs to call you or maybe get any information, how do we reach you?
You can call me at 814-251-5028. You can email me at krharris06@gmail.com.
Right.
Or you can email jvhealingconnections@gmail.com. I've actually had people message me on my private Facebook page.
Really?
Yeah, so that's A-okay.
Cool. Keep up the good work, kid.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.